Alright, I'm here to talk to you about or inform you on new updates and advances in diesel pickups. Diesels have changed so much in the past 10 years and have gained a whole new reputation. The most significant changes in diesel pickups are on the engines that power the trucks. The body styles are also changing, but that doesn't affect the truck when talking about it from a performance perspective. The diesel laws and regulations are changing rapidly, and conversely, so are the pickups. These new regulations and standards are restricting pickups and making it harder for them to create power. For example, due to these new regulations, trucks are equipped with new parts such as a DPF or EGR, and I'll explain that later. But diesel engines are required to have new upgrades installed, which can be expensive and labor intensive. Alright, new diesel engines, which means post 2002, because that's when they last updated the diesel exhaust laws. They're required to have a DPF or an EGR to meet standards. I'll explain what they are and how they work now. To begin, diesels have a known reputation of bad exhaust. They put out a lot of pollution and contain a lot of soot and sulfur gas. To reduce this problem, they created a DPF or a diesel particulate filter, which directs the gas through a cylinder, which is it's just a cylinder filled with a fluid that collects diesel exhaust fluid and soot, and it's just DEF, which is diesel exhaust fluid. It's just a non-toxic fluid that attracts pollutants. These filters are easy to maintain because they have a cap right next to where you would fill your fuel, where you can add it, because some pumps even contain it at the fuel, so you can replenish it, and it should be replenished every oil change anyway. Diesel trucks also have another exhaust modification called an EGR system, which is earlier in the system, right before the DPF. It's just right after the engine, and it stands for Exhaust Recirculation System. What this system does is it forces hot exhaust through a cylinder, similar to a muffler, with several layers of cooling fins where the gas recirculates. Since it has a longer path to go, it's essentially lengthening the pipe that your exhaust would have to go through, giving it time for the exhaust to cool. Because if it wasn't able to cool, it would just burn off all the diesel exhaust fluid in the DEF. This system is effective by lowering EGTs or exhaust gas temperatures of about 1500 degrees down to about 700 degrees. The reason it is necessary to have it is so that you don't boil it off before your next oil change. Lastly, the largest change in diesel engines is the ECM, or engine control module. Different from older diesels, which have mechanical turbos and mechanical fuel pumps, they're required, if you want to tune them to make more power or less power or anything, or use better fuel economy, you have to tune them by hand, by physically going in your engine and changing your fuel plate or your injection rate or your timing or any of that. Now they're all controlled by electronic models of a turbo or a pump, where it's all controlled by a computer, where you can install a programmer or a chip or something on your engine, where you can save tunes and set your engine to run at different rates. Like you can save like several tunes on an electric engine, like say you're heavy towing, you want more fuel, more power, you can tune your engine to use more fuel. But if you're daily driving, you don't want to be using all that fuel, you want to be saving, you can put it in fuel economy mode without physically going in and changing your engine and changing your injector rates and all that. That's called on the fly, where now they just have like a switch with like 5 positions you can rotate to switch between heavy tow, on the fly, and all the different tunes you want. You can have them custom tuned at shops or any of that, but it just changes your turbo spooling and your shift points and all that for like race modes and all that. But in conclusion, diesels rolling off the lot today are so much different than the ones you see guys like me driving around. The new diesels are so much cleaner than the older ones, at least when talking about emissions and outputs that have been reduced. They have so many new parts and there's a lot to learn. It's a really big growing industry, and it's pretty fun to learn about. But yep, that's fun. I'm not going to play videos.
Go ahead.
But your computer went off during it, started doing so.
Pause for a second.